Missing screw. Hey Miles, shouldn't you be working? Oh yeah, that's just downright gnarly. Yeah, it looks like the microscope needs reset. Hey Mr. Brown. Cremated. That's not the sort of thing you want your trackpad to be looking like. Looks like it's dived down a few layers there too. Nasty. Well, get the board out. Now the question is whether there's a problem on the logic board or whether there's a problem in the trackpad. I'll probably say there's a problem with the trackpad, and it of course would carry enough current over to the logic board, but the damage is now done. So we also have to repair the logic board. I mean, I could be wrong. It could just have been a logic board fault originally, but many times I find it's the trackpad that's the primary culprit. Neiman, come on. Hey Bob, John, Rob, Sicilian, Silesian? Yeah. Hey Greg. It's been a while. Yeah, we'll send it off to the Marlboro man. Of course, Scully could start fires too. Hey GD. Fofo. What have you been up to, GD? Don't get to see many people around of the old days. I guess people have sort of got other things to do in their lives, and watch me. Okay. Whoa. There are burn marks coming through there, and there. Oh, this is looking very interesting. What do you correlate to? Something's... Yeah, interesting. Yeah, let's kind of see what's going on here. It looks like there's melt and burn marks, so it could be wrong. Could be just blobs of flux. Yeah, Mike, I actually wonder about that. I mean, every day they've got to be adding absolutely heaps of terabytes. It's kind of scary. Okay, I think it probably blobs of flux, because that's where one of it was, and that does look like flux. We'll test it. We'll rub it down with some alcohol. It does appear to be reducing, so yeah, it's flux blob. Yeah, Pedro, if you're lucky. But then I'm sure the A1534 would find a way to not burn properly. It's quite a lot of flux on this board. see, GD's been busy. Channel kind of blew up. Now machine's coming in. Oh, why did your channel blow up? What did you do? I'm gonna try to steal your secret. I've actually got the opposite problem. I'm tapering off in a very bad way. And I know it's because I don't edit enough. I'm trying to work on that. It just takes time, and quite frankly I've been busy doing other things. Yeah, I'm just looking for other possible culprits around here. $2.78. Overall, there's a lot of this sort of subtle greenness on the exposed copper. It's like there as well. So maybe a seaside machine. Kind of curious why that polyfuse didn't go. Not enough cat videos, quite probably, yes. Spoke against the AliExpress GPUs, and I'm showing how bad. Actually, I think I saw that floating up on my stream. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that one floating up on my YouTube suggestions. Mike, I do occasionally. Like I was going to do one with just the fitting of the quick hot air element last night, and a couple of others. It's just a case of you got to set aside 1 or 2 hours to get it done, and that's not always easy to find. Do the gigabyte power supply. That's been done to death. I don't need to do that. And today I received, finally, after a very protracted period, my carbon air filter thing, only to find that they sent me the wrong size. I ordered a 6-inch, they sent me a 4-inch. So whatever, I look like a woman. I'm trying to pretend that's a 6. Needs to say, I put in saying wrong item sent, and now it's going to become a fiasco. Even though this is damaged, I don't want to needlessly do oh man, that is a nightmare. Oh, GD, wow, that's some gnarly trickery there. But they'll do anything for $1. I mean, don't we all, but yeah. Miles, you're referring to the fact that I just don't have any time, in which case, yeah, you'd be right. This really is a 2 or 3 person business these days. I do have a couple of YouTube shorts, but it's mostly cat related. Alright, so let's see how far this conducting carbonization has gone. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Let's have a look at the board view and schematic and see what it says. First I've got to find a 4924. The problem with the downsizing is that it's beneficial for the first quarter or two. So, you definitely, whenever you downsize as a large business, you will see an immediate improvement on the books. But then after that it goes to hell. But that's fine, because the whole point is you make this quarter look good or the next quarter look good, and then you get your bonus payment because you did good, and then you get the hell out of there. And that's the trouble. It's all driven too much by the next quarter rather than the next 5 years. Sorry, I'm just sort of struggling here to get my brain running. Okay, GD, take care. I'll try and watch your video. I'll make some bizarre comment perhaps. Okay, so all of these are connected, which is good, and that's what I was expecting, but it's still one hell of a mess. So basically, with this sort of scenario, because it's all together, we're just going to have to dig down. See, the trouble is, there's this copper layer here, and there's a pretty damn good chance that's going to be ground. Because usually underneath your top layer where you've got most of your routing, you stick a ground plane underneath, and then you go and have another layer under that which has all the next bit of routing. So you're trying to cut down on crosstalk and noise and stuff like that. Yeah, that's ground. So that's basically what's happened, is this trackpad power line has now fused together through this beautiful carbon body with the ground planes. So no matter what you do, it's just going to keep coming up and shorting, which then makes it worse. So we just have to dig. It's probably not worth it, because this is pretty frickin' severe. It's already way deeper than I would like. Yeah, not quite sure I'll get the Dremel yet. But yeah, you can see how it's just carbonized the fiberglass board. This is one of those sort of cancers that keeps producing a favorable environment for it to keep growing. Now that has really gone down deep. I would say the preferred option here is to just get another 4925 board. I mean, we'll see what we can do, but yeah. We definitely have to, we're basically going to have to cut off a good portion here, and then we can provide the extra power just through some bridging of pins. Unfortunately, at least most of the time, the designers, when they route these boards, they don't tend to put any sort of signal traces under these areas, which is good because it means we can probably dig away quite safely without interrupting signal lines. Okay, time to get the toothy brushy out and start scrubbing. Definitely looking a lot like tooth decay. Wrong. Sorry, just abusing myself for using the wrong cutting technique for that section. Just not getting the angle that I want. And I know I'm using the wrong cutting technique because it's it jumps off. Whereas if you're using the correct cutting technique, it just sort of bites into the material and slowly glides across. But sometimes you just get short-term lazy and don't change your handle position. That's looking pretty good now. I'm fairly sure we've cleared the worst away. Now, points of concern are that we do still have the ground plane floating in through here. So that's always a risk for shorting. So we'll have to do a fair bit of preventative activity here. We'll just see if we have a short to ground still. Yep. Yeah, we're still short to ground, damn. Alright, cut back some more. I need a different hook for this. Let's see what's on the other area there. Okay, pretty much this whole area would appear to be entirely covering that rail. So it's like it's just one big chunk. So we might actually be able to get away with doing a complete drill through. Okay, we cleared it. That said, I'm not 100% how could you say, convinced or happy about that yet. I feel like that's still potentially borderline able to short itself again, given reasonable conditions. Just kind of curious to see where that veer goes. I think it's one of these. I'll just give it a blast with some compressed air. Let's see, where's my calipers? Somewhere between, oops, yeah, it's somewhere over there. I'm just trying to ascertain whether I can just do a complete drill through, or if that's just an overkill that we don't really need. Perhaps if I just fill up that area. Fairly sure it's this one here. Alright. Oh my goodness, don't know why I can't speak properly at the moment. Yeah. Quite honestly, a little blob of hot glue down there would probably do the trick better than anything else. Of course, the trouble is though, when you go put the new connector on, that's not going to do much chop. But we need a filler that is, what can I think of? JB World would work. Hey Yanzimi. Ah, Miles. You have to let go of that hate one day. Let it go. You can't fill it with the UV cure though, because if you put the UV cure in that thick, it will never absolutely never cure, well, certainly not in any reasonable amount of time. But I might put an initial layer down there, just as a protective layer. Super glue and bicarb maybe, but it does have a corrosive effect on the board over time. Hmm, 419D. I'll have to have a look at that one. Yeah, definitely better than UV mask. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of UV mask for this situation. It is too brittle really for the task. Well, it is doing the job there, but it's not really acting as a filler. It's just a layer, a coating layer and nothing more. Right, use it to coat a little. Let's have a look at what the removal process of that stuff is though. MG Chemicals 419D. Actually, I think I've had a look at this stuff in the past. Yeah, I think I had it on an order at one point. What do we got? 29 in the UK. Shit. Add to basket. Continue shopping. Log in. Yeah, what other crap have I got? Ah, solder paste. More connectors. Yeah, I don't need that. That's junk. Let's see. Anything else I need before I put this order in? Can't really think of much else. Oh god, no, we don't have same day. Oh no. We're lucky to have same week. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of what else I should be ordering while I'm at it. Let's see. You never remember what it is that you need to order until after you've clicked submit. And then you realise, oh, I forgot about that. It's too late. It's over now. Missed your chance. I mean, I've got plenty of wick. I don't need any flux. I'm ordering more solder paste. And I've got plenty of ultrasonic cleaning solution at the moment. Oh, I know what I need. I need IPA. Gloves I don't get through these guys. It should be a 5 litre or 4 litre IPA. I'll get the old one. Here I've got the old one. Okay, to be fair, I've actually still got a fair bit of it. But it doesn't hurt to have more. See, 182, 7781. And then they'll tell me, we don't stock that product anymore. Yeah, this is the stuff. Oh shit, they actually don't stock it. Oh, god damn it. I hate it when this happens. And I didn't buy it that long ago either. Miles, a lot of the problem I find with many places that I can't get them to ship it up here. So I'm sort of at the mercy of who will ship what. I can't even get rolls of cardboard up here anymore for packing goods. It's truly absurd. Yeah, because like I used to be able to get the right size corrugated cardboard, that a single-sided corrugated cardboard, and it was a good price and the shipping was fair and everything like that, and then they said no, we're not doing it anymore. So I ended up having to then specially get so I'm just going to go back to above. I ended up having to specially get Officeworks to bring in these oversized rolls, and then I have to cut them down for the chainsaw. It's a joke. Okay, well that's cured nicely. There's no, I didn't have to use heat or anything like that, and it has sealed up quite nicely there. Hey, full wave. So yeah, unfortunately a lot of good options are denied on the grounds of the companies won't even ship to me. Especially those sort of industrial companies, they just sort of go, nah, sorry mate, we can't ship that to you, it's too much of a pain in the ass. And it's like, yay, thank you. Alright, we're going to begin another connector. Haralaki, yeah, go on a 3,000 kilometer trek. Alright, so this is our replacement. See how this goes. And I know people are going to say, why don't you heat it from the backside? It's like, well, I don't have to heat it from the backside, and this way I can get a better visual and I can get a hold of it. And there's usually there's a bunch of trash on the other side. I don't want to heat that up and give myself emphysema. FedEx, no, that's not an option. Believe me, I really go above and beyond trying to find products that I can get shipped up here at reasonable rates. It is a forever ongoing process. And what often happens is you finally do find something, and then about a year later, Australia Post or the carrier or whatever change their mind about it, and you're back to square one again. Hey Morito, how's things going on your camp there? Anyway, this is a typical sort of slow process. I'm only doing 360 Celsius here, so it's going to take a while. I could do 470 as I normally do, but you have a high risk of upsetting the plastic on the top. So you just got to be patient, and believe me, you got to be patient because these boards are very good at sucking up that heat. But it will happen eventually. It may approach the heat death of the universe, but it will happen. Oh yeah, Mike, believe me, the fact that I can get the internet service I have out here did floor me. I was pretty happy. I would have been happier if they let me stay with 140, but instead the bastards bait and switched me down to 120, so I've only got a 20 megabit per second upload, which allows me to do 2K stream uploads if I want, but definitely not 4K. Like with the 1080 60 frames per second I'm doing now, that's 10 megabit per second. Okay, we're getting close. Best you can get was 1 gig for yeah, that's like 10 times as good as what I've got. Yeah, Adrian, I'm definitely one of those unhappy people. And I said to him, look, I don't mind paying extra, give me back the 40. But they're like, nah, sorry mate, can't give it to you anymore. And I'm like, you little fuckers. Sorry about the swearing, but I think that sort of demonstrates how displeased I am about the fact that I was stripped of the 40. Especially too because I'm running, off-site servers. So the 40 was a very nice workable speed for remote work. 20 is not too bad, but you do definitely notice it getting in your way at times. This is going to be a bit tricky. It's not going to sit properly, and then it's going to drift around. It's going to do its best to be a pain in my backside. And the worst thing is, for the most part, they know you're not going to change ISP because as bad as it is sitting at 20 megabit per second, the thought of migrating to another ISP just fills you with absolute dread. Simply because of the fact that you know it's going to be a complete clusterfuck. They'll say, oh yeah, we can do that in 2-3 days, no trouble, just tell us and we'll get it done, blah blah blah. And you can be guaranteed that something will happen in 2 or 3 days, i.e. you will lose your internet, and then you won't see a working internet for a month after that. That's the most likely outcome. I don't care how good they say they are. It feels like it's down, but kind of not 100% the blue patch is where it was all corroded out. We just fixed that. Okay, yeah, that's not sitting down properly. So I'm going to have to reheat it, get it to float again, and try and give it a little itsy bitsy tap. See, the main problem is that if you tap on these plastic connectors with tweezers, you pretty much permanently mark them. But that plastic, while it may not be melting all over the place, it's exceptionally soft right now. Just gotta wait for that end one to melt. Why are you not melting? For some reason, this goddamn nub over here is not melting. Everything else is dropped and nice, but that one just doesn't want it. The lower one is fine. It looks like they're all sitting into place anyway, so we've got to win. Got a little bit of a bridging going on here. But I can see they've all filleted up, so that's good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now we do have to bridge up these pins here. Now it may not be strictly necessary, but it's better at least that we do try to do that. What I might try to do is slip a little piece of wick under there and just flood it with glorious solder. There, Miles, I've tried the whole complaint system and to know about... Okay, well, it looks like wick is infinitely too large for such a purpose. We could put a big fat blob of solder there. What we might do is use a single strand of copper wire, and it can be the bridging sort of reinforcement for the blob. Yeah, I don't have any copper tape that would be appropriate. This is household mains wire, 240 volt, 10 amp stuff. The other thing you've got to be careful about is you can't come up too high from these pins, because when you go to plug the connector in, it will obstruct with whatever's floating up too high. Hey Serge. Ah, boy. Yeah, it's a nice bus bar. Hey Kodak, now this is daytime, yeah. I suppose, yes, it could be argued that I should be sleeping during the day. There we go, bus bar achieved. Now at this point, the urge for perfection may end up biting me in the ass, because I really, really want to even that out a bit more. Even though it's actually quite perfect as it is, from a technical perspective. Let's try with the micro pencil. Remember folks, perfect is the enemy of everything. Oh great, now it looks like I'm welding, with pigeon crap welding. Alright, I'm happy enough with that. Now we do have to go along and check that all the pins are attached. You don't have to push very hard when you're doing this, because if the pad is not attached, okay, that one there, it just looks a little bit grainy. And grainy pads can... actually it's not too bad on close-up. Ach nee man. Backpack. Now the problem I'm experiencing here is that this pencil tip does not have enough thermal energy in it to beat the drainage of the board. Yeah, naturally I've just made everything worse now. Trigger my damned OCD for sure. If I was a $50 eBay repair shop, then that would have been fine before I did anything else. Would have been like, yep, it's stuck on, it visually looks okay, let's go. Maybe that's why they're more profitable than I am. Okay, we're all good there. Yeah, it does look like it's had a long screw hit as well. Fortunately not problematically, but no, they really went for a bit of a bite there. Oh yeah, I was about to say, oh crap, ground shorted again, but no. Wait, what? No, it looks like we've shorted again. Somehow. Oh no. So that's ground. Yep. Ah, we're shorted again. How the hell did that happen? Did I take 2 pins too far? Did I bridge the wrong ones? Let's see. So the first 7 pins, 1, 2, 3, somehow I picked up, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, that's all good. But yeah, it seems like we've got a shorter gain. Now I'm a little bit confused about that because there's nothing going down here. Hey Byron. Just lifting this up. I mean, it's possible there's another short elsewhere, but yeah, maybe. Okay, so that's good, yep. But that's not good. What a colossal pain in the ass. And then I wonder if I've got a bridge somewhere, but I genuinely can't see any bridges. Yeah, the heat's made them touch, most likely. I'm gonna have to gouge out more. We'll take this back off. Thinking I might just have to drill through. So it's getting to the point now where I'm thinking it might be just cheaper and easier to get another 4924. Okay, I have to pickle that pad. I don't know why. I don't know why it is not coming up. Yeah, let's see what state we're in now. Yeah, it's gone and fused in again. Shit. Probably the carbon expanded. That's what I get for not holding it correctly again. Yeah, I can see bits of carbon down there. And that's how it should be if you hold it correctly. Still shorted. It's going to be hilarious if the short is actually elsewhere. I'm fairly sure I can see carbon there. A rotary pen. I've got one of those, but I just prefer to use a knife. Okay, that's cleared. So yeah. The reason why I like to use a knife is because when you do the cutting process well enough, it doesn't cause any merging of the layers. Whereas I find the rotary tools tend to have a little bit too much of a incidence of causing layers to merge. The other thing is because I've been a long time user of knives for carving things with all my model aircraft history. So I'm pretty happy with that hole now. But I'm fairly sure I can still see a carbon layer just up here, about 3 layers down. So unfortunately I'm going to have to do like an additional cut Not as deep, but stupid. Mind you, I will admit, the scary thing about using the knife like this is that if you do slip, because you're holding the board with the other hand in moderately close proximity, you're going to end up with something nasty. Okay, now I'm just getting careless here. I'm just free carving like a lunatic. Yes, sadly, tools and blood do frequently go together. Just going to heat this area up and see if we can't induce another short. It's holding pretty steady there. Yeah, it means we've got to do the goddamn UV cure again. Sadly, when it comes to tools and blood, I'm a little bit too acquainted with that association throughout my years. Alright, let's try that. Oh, Miles, you are pretty lucky if that's the worst you've ever done. Jeez. That's quite a happy life there. Yeah, okay, I suppose you could cauterize the wound. Make sure you put plenty of lead in there so that it swims around in your system over time. Assuming, of course, your body has the ability to pull the lead out from the alloy. I'm not sure what the bioavailability of lead in solder is when it's in your bloodstream or flesh. Because I mean, it's just because you swallow solder doesn't mean that the lead is bioavailable. Your body might not be able to do anything with the alloy. Much like when you get fillings that are got the, what do they call this stuff? The mercury amalgam, yeah. We're just giving the UV a decent time to cure. Let's see, once I was under a stack condensing units undoing a bolt. Oh, slipped and had the whole wall to. Ooh. It's scary how easily you can meet your death due to collapsing walls and things like that. So scary. Because you sort of don't think about it when you're watching the movies and such, but when you think about just one brick landing on your head when you're not prepared for it, you're in big trouble just with that, let alone a whole wall. See, Koda, skill saw in the thigh. Oh, good God. 4x8. That is nasty. Yeah, no thanks. I'll pass on that one. Head wounds and having my hands captured into power equipment, that's probably the worst for me. Apparently fingers and belt sanders don't go together. Apparently. Alright, once again it's cured nicely, so we're gonna do it all over again now. Kodak, that does seem to be the thing with deep, big wounds like that, as you heard. Most of the pain comes from the surface. Once it gets down in deep, particularly if it's in, say, muscular areas and stuff like that, it doesn't tend to really dominate the pain sensation. On the other hand, you go skid down a road from a motorcycle accident and you haven't got your protective gear on, that is excruciating, especially if then you crash into the ocean with salt water, things like that, or crash into a salt truck, or if the road was recently salted. Ah, damn it! I lost my bus bar. Alright, so here we go again. Yeah, road rash. I was very fortunate because I always wore full protective gear with my motorcycling. A couple of times I did come off, it wasn't a major issue. Probably the thing that hurt the most when I came off my motorbike was my ego and my wallet. Ego first, wallet second. Come on, you mung bean, drop. Up near the EMI shield. Ah, thanks. Mucho appreciatio. Now I'm just going to check to see if we're shorted or not again. Yeah, being gored in the chest by a bull. I'm not going to put that on my must-try list. Hell no. That's some nasty damage that you're going to sustain from such a thing. You're going to find yourself featuring on Chubby Emu. Big time. You can just see the intro now. KD went on a holiday over in Italy to participate in the running of the bulls. At first he thought things were going great. But then something wasn't right. Spain, right. Sorry, my bad. Can't expect me to be reasonable at everything. Ah. See, now that's the sort of soldering I would expect from eBay. We're going to do better than that. Oh, why? Interesting, it keeps wanting to go. I suspect because it's got the... Yeah, we're going to leave it like that. Okay, let's see if we're shorted again. Okay, no short this time. Just double check it. Yep, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that is one hell of a cavity under there. Alright, now we've got a new problem. Because I've been reworking this connector so much, we've actually got flux charring. And you would think that the IPA would dislodge that, you know, make it soften it up and stuff, but it really doesn't. Fortunately, the ultrasonic will clear it out. Well, I don't want to rely entirely on that. Yeah, it's crusticated. Now I'm being very careful because it's all too easy to scratch up that plastic. Yeah, I should really leave this to the ultrasonic. It knows what it's doing. Alright. Now the question is, what to do to test this. Also, I'm not sure if I've got a... I'll have to check, but I'm not sure if I've got a spare trackpad cable for this sucker. I'm sure I have one lying around somewhere, but not off the top of my head. I would say in most cases, realistically, it's probably going to be more economical in future just to buy a replacement board. I think I'll order in that acrylic and I'll fill up that gap before I send this back. The first thing I'm going to do is actually power this up without anything else plugged in. That way we can ascertain whether the board is functional or not. Mike, it's more of a time thing. When you look at it, what has it been now? It's an hour and a bit. So, and then there's always the risk that this sort of damage can reoccur. Like, is there a bit of layer that I missed? You know, things like that. Yeah, it's functional, but is it damaged in a way that may return? It's a risk evaluation situation. Okay. I'm seeing if any smoke comes off out of here. Nothing yet, so that's probably a good sign. Hold down the option key. We're pulling the right sort of current. No, we got smoke. We just got smoke. It smells like PCB. That took a while, but we did get it. So yeah, I think this might be better off as a replacement. Wait, where did that smoke come from? Because now I've got to do it a third time, and yeah, we're talking 2 hours here. Just get a replacement board. See where that smoke was coming from. It's certainly not coming from that area anymore. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's just much deeper still. Okay, I can see the point. You can see it here. This is where it's coming out. Actually, I can see the gloss there. I don't know if you can. It was slightly golden in color. That is actually from smoke. So yeah, we're going to be shorted. Yep. So I'm going to guess that this thing is just going to keep burning its way through. Alright, let's be stupid. Where are you? Turn on the extractor. We know we found the right spot because we've got all the blue stuff come through. Okay, let's see if we still got that short. Yeah, probably ran along the veer. Certainly enough to keep doing it. Okay, 2.8, so we're actually... it's getting weak now. Before it was a stronger short than that, now it's getting weak. Okay, we don't want to go that fast. I knocked the pins off that connector. Trying. Gee whiz. What's bothering me is I'm not actually pulling up any carbon anymore, it seems. Hey Mage, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not pulling up any carbon anymore, and that's a problem. Yeah, let's just get an X-ray machine, ignoring the fact that here in Australia, such things are pretty much impossible to get a hold of. At the very best, I can, every now and then, if I had to, the local vet clinic would facilitate such a thing. But yeah, it's... because if they've got to do, say, test runs, then they can sort of fit me in on a test run or mark it down as a test run. There's going to be no circuit board left after this. Jeez. Gonna do a little more carving. If it doesn't come clear on the next bit of carving, then I'm going to actually look at powering it up again and seeing where the smoke is coming from. Just in case I'm just like carving away something that doesn't need carving away. Turning into a keychain, yes I have, it seems. 2.6, yeah. Kinda starting to think I might need to see where this is happening. Oh, that was interesting. Took its time. 2.8, yep. That hasn't gone anywhere from the initial. Unfortunately, the gym cam's not going to give me the resolution I need to be able to track this thing down. This is definitely going to be a visual one, this one. Because all that's going to happen is the gym cam is going to show me that it's heating up in that area, and I'm going to be like, yep. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, maybe the fault is actually way off somewhere else, but we'll see. I'm using my chunkier wire for this one. Oops. I think it's a 120 by or 240 by 80 or something. I can't remember exactly. Now, obviously, the first thing I need to do is drop this voltage way down to 1 volt. Actually, 2 volts will do it. Let's see, here we go. Did something just flash then? I wasn't looking. Yeah, I can see it's cooking up in there. Could have. Yeah, I can see the connector's getting hot. But it's because of the circuit board underneath it. Yeah. It's happening all in here, around here. It's basically, it's wicked its way through too far. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's where I'm suspecting. So basically right there. If we have a look, it's this position here, I think. Let's put it in the right orientation. Yeah, so it's warming up just here. I'm going to say this probably isn't worth the activity, I'm afraid. Now, if this was my own board, I would do you all a favour and light it up. But it's not my board, so I can't do that, I'm sorry. There is a dirty trick you can do. Okay, I shouldn't call it a dirty trick. It's not really a dirty trick, it's just... But it depends on whether there's more vias sitting under here or not. If there's only this one via here, then it's possible to do what we're about to do. If there are other hidden ones, then it's not. So anyway, so what you do is you just completely sever that rail like that. So now that is completely and utterly, hopefully electrically isolated. And we're thinking, well, that doesn't help us. Well, it will in a bit. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's okay, but unfortunately, yeah, it's still shorted. So the idea was essentially that if I could cut away the whole zone where it's shorted, what we'll do is we'll do another one, like over here. Still shorted. Oh, that's brutal. So it's gone up and all through here. We're just going to keep cutting back until we find the point where it stops. Fire truck. No, that's that unfortunately is wrecked. What are you doing? The fact that I have peeled that back so far and it is still short of the ground, that basically means it's well and truly cactus. Yeah. Well and truly cactus. Could also be on this side here. Probably is this side that's the problem. Well, unfortunately, that's a time of death. 1409. 1609 rather. That's unfortunate. Yeah, because if it was anything to do with up and around these layers, doing what I've just done should have resulted in the resolution of that short. But the fact that it hasn't means that it's a Gonski. Shame about that. Alright. Well, I got other stuff to get done. That was a good waste of 2 hours. It happens that way sometimes. It started out as what seemed like a pretty simple thing, but many times this is why things like the A1990 and the A2141s are such a problem when they get those shorted caps that I was talking about last night that start to burrow into the board with carbonization, because you end up with this situation where that carbonization just sort of spreads out, kind of like a fungus virus or whatever, you know, it really just like goes everywhere. And you can have moments of it working, and then as you can see, you know, even after that was twice we cleared the short and it came back. Unfortunately, it's just the way these things go. So yeah, that's why a lot of those modern machines are dying in a way that just can't be recovered. Tim did one the other week, and it was fortunate he actually managed to properly clear that out, at least long enough for it to be bootable and get the data off. That's not a common scenario. So, alright, well, I guess we're going to get out of here. The carbonization starts usually just from some corrosion or a bit of liquid damage, something that can create enough heat to convert the fiberglass, mainly the epoxy as opposed to the glass fibers, into, just break it down into carbon. And once that happens, the chain reaction gets started, and you can't really stop it until too late. So anyway, I'm out of here. You all take care. I'll see you for the next one. Catch you later.